Hello and welcome to the day. Thank you for spending your time with us. I'm Jake. Welcome to another episode of Jake and Joel Are Magic. Today, we are talking about the Foundations Starter Collection. Everything you need to build your own decks. I'm going to go over this product, what we could see here. Everything you need to succeed. You're gaining an instant collection. This truly astounding box boasts over 350 cards with essential staples for any color in any way you want to play. Well, here on Jake and Joel, we love to play Commander. We've got over 350 cards here. We've got a click wheel. We've got 3 14-card Magic the Gathering Foundations play boosters and the storage box. And this thing here is pretty hefty. The goal with this video, because we do love Commander over here, the goal with this is we are going to see if we can build a fun Commander deck out of this. I see Lyra, Gilded Lotus, Soul Ring on the back. So if it's giving us a Soul Ring, I imagine they want us to play some Commander because that card isn't legal anywhere else for anybody who's buying a Foundations kit. So yeah, let's crack on into this. Before we do, big thank you to Wizards of the Coast for sending us this so that we could review it. We really do appreciate you very much. I am going to be playing Magic later on tonight, so the goal is to build anything I can from this product and the 3 play boosters that it comes with. I'll take it over there, see how it does against the crew. I imagine it's going to be a fun little challenge, but we'll get some takes and we'll see what we can build from this. But, you know, the Soul Ring gives me some optimism that this is probably going to be a fun product. Remember, this set is called Foundations, so it makes sense for there to be a foundational product. We've seen these kind of like kits before in the past where you get some pre-assorted cards and you get a couple booster packs. But I want to see how this kind of stands up to those as well. So from a Commander perspective, I see this as a product for somebody who probably has a pre-con or two and they are looking to build a deck themselves. They're like, okay, I've played Commander, I've dabbled in it, and now I'm going to go ahead and buy this and get these foundational staples. And that's what we're going to do in this video is decide, you know, how many staples are in here. What do we think of this as far as a product for Commander players and new players and old? So yeah, let's just jump into it. Thanks again to Wizards of the Coast. Big thank you to all of our channel patrons that power the channel through Patreon. Without your patronage, we would just be peons sipping on porridge. Pow, 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 pea sounds. So like I said, whatever I build out of here, I'm going to put the deck on Mox Field and we'll be able to look at it together. Okay, so I'm thinking there's like an outer shell here. So if we scratch this up, it's no big deal. Alrighty. Yeah, man, the first thing you'll notice about this product, and depending on what this product is like, I may give it away to like one of my friends who's getting back into Magic, but I am going to review it for the sake of this video and build the deck out of it. Yeah, I have so much Magic the Gathering product. It's what my girlfriend, she has a unique term for it. It's called a problem. Here we go. Oh, nice. So in there you get a bundle box. That's cool. Foundations. So you get a little guide in here, a deck builder's guide, building a deck, the basics. Cool. They give you the essential tactics of like, what's the spirit of white? Gain life with spells and lifelink creatures, go wide, use spells and abilities to protect yourself. Okay, blue. Counter opponent spells, be a scumbag, draw extra cards, tilt the table. All right, that looks fun. Got black here, the superior color. No need to explore any other colors. Okay, I agree with that as well. Red, attack quickly with haste creatures. Yep. And then green, ramp and upset people with how much mana you have. Okay, got it. Building around synergies. Okay, cool. The mana curve, play and refine your deck. All right, neat. All right, this is awesome. Nice little quick reference here. You got the spin down. That's nice. All right. So these are all of the cards that we're going to look through. Oh, that's sweet. The Lyra's foil. Pretty cool. Going into this product here pretty blind. I see an Arcane Signet. Okay, so it looks like they want people to be able to build a Commander deck out of this. So I'm interested in what kind of lands they include. I like that they've included full arts. It's pretty sweet. Got some dividers in here. Oh! Wow, I'm a fan. I'm a fan of this. You put all the little dividers in there. That is cool. Perfect fit. All right. Set that to the side. All right, so first things first, let's just go right in here with the Lyra, and then we'll open some packs here in a second. But I want to see exactly what we get. And I'm going to set stuff into piles based on... Let's set all this over here. If a card I consider to be a foundational staple, I will put it in here. Wow. What? These are all foils? Are you kidding me? Wow, so they just give you a big chunk of foils right out the gate. Okay, let's talk about that. Got Lyra foil, Rite of Replication, Massacre Worm. Bro, that's awesome. Gratuitous Violence, great enchantment. Gigantosaurus, full art. Big fan. I feel like chat is going to be filling me in on a lot of this. Adaptive Automaton, great card. Gilded Lotus, Maze's End, foil. Angel of Vitality, Make a Stand. Okay, so there's definitely going to be a way to get a commander deck out of this based on just looking at these foils. Feed the Swarm. Gatekeeper takes me back to the old Zendikar days. Gutter Snipe, like new art. Impact Tremors. Imperious Perfect. That seems like that's probably not supposed to be two of those, but yeah, double Imperious Perfect. Got a Worm, Boros Charm, Unflinching Courage, Expedition Map foil. Wow. And Hedron Archive. Okay. All of those I would consider to be pretty good commander cards. So let's just set those foils right in here and continue on. I don't need this in my ear. Just looking through, we're getting a bunch of Foundations cards here. Oh, look, they give you some multiples of stuff so that you can... Oh, maybe that's why there are two Imperious Perfect. Yeah, it's not a commander product. It's a product for people to build a lot of different kinds of decks. So based on what I'm seeing, I am seeing like good Pauper cards. Exsanguinate, you know, like that's a really good commander card. We'll call that a staple. Couple Heroes Downfalls. Vampire Nighthawk, Burst Lightnings. Cool to have multiple copies of that. Thrill of Possibility, that's a good card. Llanowar Elf, I would say, you know, a Llanowar Elf could be, you know, a good staple-ish kind of card. Overrun as well. Okay, let's keep on cracking in here. Let's look at this one. Oh, it's already kind of opened up there a little bit. All right, so these look like... All right, what else do we have? Dragon Fodder. All right, so I'm seeing good cards for like, you know, like... Oh, yeah. All right. Seeing some fun cards in here. Fogbank. Fogbank is an old boomer card. I'm going to set that to the side as well. That's a staple-ish kind of card. Pulse Tracker. Yeah, there's a lot of really fun stuff here. Bolt Bend. That's a really great commander card. Kind of like a budget deflecting SWAT. Circuitous Route. So I think what I'll probably end up doing, setting... Oh, nice. Mortify. Trigun Predator. That's an old card as well. I think what I'll end up doing is putting everything into piles based on what it is, and then just go from there. We got a bunch of lands here. Let's take a look at these lands. Guild Gates. Cryptic Caves. Okay. Let's just set our lands over here. Wow. Some full art cards as well. Oh, baby. Okay, I like what they have going on with this product. It's all over the place, but in a good way. Some white cards here. Johnny's Pridemate, Refute, Vengeful Bloodwitch, Abrade, Reclamation Sage, and Swiftfoot Boots. I mean, this is clearly a really good card for Commander. Put our full arts over here. Our lands. White cards. I'm going to do my best to see what we can build out of this. My goal is to get a playable Commander deck with a little bit of synergy. Because I do see it as a good way to like, oh, you know, I just want to tinker, get a bunch of cards, you get some variants, you get some foils. All right, red cards, green cards. Got the 12/8 Ceratops, that's fun. Now, all of the stuff in here has the foundation symbol, but I don't believe all of this is in this set. So I imagine these cards are all just marked with the foundation symbol because... Okay, all right, yeah, that makes sense. All right, so yeah, let's just put these into correct piles here. Stroke of Midnight. It's a pretty good staple-ish kind of card. Cutthroats, Essence Scatter, Micromancer, Spectral Sailors. That's a fun card. Think Twice, Tolarian Terror. These we already looked at, but just looking at them now. Hero's Downfall, I would probably put that into a Commander deck as a nice starting removal. Probably end up gravitating toward building a black deck. Like a, well, we'll see what the land support is and what we can kind of get away with as far as building a Commander deck. I would like to go like 2 or 3 color. That would be ideal. Snakeskin Veil, that's a fun card as well. Nice little combat trick. Heroic Reinforcements, Eagle, and Ruby Darling Tracker. Let's go into this one. This one looks like it has some rares in it. So you do get a nice chunk of cards here. Like it says on the product, over 350 cards. And then we'll open our play boosters once we get done sorting. Oh, yeah. Oh, wow. Okay. So we'll just sort by color. Angelic Destiny is a very good card. Charming Prince. Right here we're looking at, like this, I would consider to be a staple-ish Commander card. Fumigate, that's probably going to be one of the better removals that they give us as far as board wipes go. Got Zatalpa as well. Depending on cat synergy, having a Regal Caracal is going to be a good card just for all the cats that are in Foundations. It would be fun to make a cat deck. Mentor of the Meek is going to be good in there as well. Arcanus, Dictate of Crufix, Finale of Revelation, Harbinger of the Tides, River's Rebuke, Sphinx of the Final Word, Tempest Djinn, Voracious Great Shark. These are all good cards as well. Demonic Pact, Desecration Demon, Dread Summons, Glostria Highborn, Midnight Reaper. Wow, Wishclaw Talisman. That's a really fun card. Demonic Pact. At the beginning of your upkeep, choose one that hasn't been chosen. This enchantment deals 4 damage to any target and you gain 4 life. Target opponent discards 2 cards, draw 2 cards, and you lose the game. That is interesting. Desecration Demon, Old Ravnica, Return to Ravnica card, Dread Summons. Highborn, good vampire synergy there, Midnight Reaper. This is just like a good draw engine. I'm going to set that to the side as well. Myojin of Night's Reach. Null Priest of Oblivion. When this creature enters, if it was kicked, return target creature card from your graveyard to the battlefield. We also have Wishclaw Talisman. This is a fun card. Got Ball Lightning. Dragon Master Outcast. This is like a muster move because this can start bringing in big red dragons. We have Harmless Offering. Lathless, Redcap Gutter Dweller, Stromkirk Noble. I'm seeing a lot of vampire synergy, so there is possibly like a red-black vampires in here. Tauren Mauler. Classic commander card. Hero's Bane, Predator Ooze, Primal Might, Primeval Bounty. When you cast a creature spell, create a 3/3 green beast creature token. Whenever you cast a non-creature spell, the 3/1/1 counters on target creature you control. Jeez. Got Rampaging Ballast. This is just a classic landfall card. Just very good card. Surrak, Vizier of the Menagerie, and Wildborn Preserver. All really good cards there. Aurelia. Wow. Just like such a good assortment. Darksteel Colossus is in here. That's like new art. Pyromancer's Goggles. Steel Hellkite. And then some good lands. Wow, there's a lot going on in this. There is a lot going on in this product. Ailey, Drogskull Reaver, Elena, Immerstrom Predator, Maelstrom Pulse, classic card, Ovika. Yeah, so there's definitely like commanders that you can build in here too. They're giving you a lot of legendary creatures. Again, this video, we are trying to build a commander deck. Basilisk Collar, Cultivator's Caravan, Darksteel Colossus, such a classic card. And I don't think I have this, and I need it for my Imskir deck, so I'm actually excited to see that. Mazemind Tome. This card is so tricky and annoying. Goggles, got Ramos Dragon Engine, so if you wanted to go 4-color, you have a way to do that. Steel Hellkite. And then we've got some lands here. Clawing Barrens. Temples. Looks like they're giving you every temple. These are pretty good. I like the temples. These are fine for, like, we're trying to build a commander product or a commander deck. These are really good starter lands. We see these in a lot of precons these days. Tatiova is in here. Steel Hellkite needs to go into the artifact pile. Basilisk Collar. I mean, there are a lot of good cards in here. Tatiova. Then we have Burnished Heart. We got Banner, Meteor Golem. These are all good, fine cards. And then they're giving us 2 of each Bloodfell Caves, 2x Blossoming Sands, 2 Dismal Backwater, 2 Evolving Wilds, 2 Jungle Hollow, a Rogue's Passage. This is a classic commander card there. Rugged Highlands, Scoured Barrens, Swiftwater Cliffs, Thornwood Falls, Tranquil Cove, Wind-Scarred Crag. All lands that enter the battlefield tapped, you gain a life. 4 opt. If you wanted to go like you're building a constructed deck, there's probably a deck that wants 4 opt. Like I said, the product in that respect, because they want you to be able to build so many different kinds of formats, they're giving you like 4x of certain cards in here as well. Now let's open this one. We see some full art lands here. Is this going to be all basics? Let's see. Okay, cool. Full art basics is a nice touch. And then that was all she wrote as far as full art basics. Okay, so here's what a big chunk of the cards are, is you get some basic lands. I have so many basics, I'm not going to need those. They give you a bunch of tokens. Likely these are tokens for the cards that they include in this, which would make the most sense. And then a couple cards that tell you on your turn, beginning phase, first main, that kind of stuff, which makes sense for a foundational product. All of the tokens are flip tokens as well, so that's cool. Just getting tokens that go for each of the cards. Yeah, I'm seeing Dragon Master, Outcast, and some of the other stuff. Getting those tokens is always extremely helpful. So what we're looking at here, just after sorting all of this out, you've got a chunk of lands here. They give you each of the temples, one of each of the temples, and then some tap lands that can help you fill out your mana base. Evolving Wilds so that you can go fetch some lands up. A nice assortment of artifacts. Let's finish sorting these. Black cards. Dragon Fodder. Some angels. Angel Support, Disenchant. Stasis Snare. Duress. I'm seeing like cards that are good. Target opponent sacks a creature. But as far as like commander deck right out of the gate, I think this product is probably like it's going to be a deck that kind of reminds you of if you built like a limited commander deck, like if you were to go to a con and you were to play one of those like draft a commander deck and you build like a 60 card commander deck. That's kind of what the vibe I'm getting from this is. They did give you all the gates, so having like the Gate Colossus is a fun, interesting kind of direction that you can go. Let's see what's in this behind the Arcane Signet. Is this going to be Sol Ring Signet? I imagine that it is. Oh, Sol Ring Signet Command Tower. Okay, so that's a strong signal that they want you to be able to build a commander deck out of what's in here. So I think the right move now is I'm going to count up how many of each color they give us. It is a really nice little assortment of cards. I'm seeing a lot of really good black cards and some really good white cards. I'm leaning toward possibly a white-black kind of situation here. There are 47 non-basic lands that include colorless and dual color, like common lands and temples. 10 full art basics, which is a nice touch. 23 colorless artifacts, 38 black cards, 39 blue cards, 37 red cards, 38 green cards, 38 white cards, 29 multicolored cards. I was wrong about the artifacts and the lands. There's 2 more artifacts because of Sol Ring and Signet. It is cool that the Sol Ring is foil. I'm a big fan of that. And then also the Command Tower is foil, and so is the Arcane Signet. So I think what we want to do, and God, all of these counts were off as well because I didn't put these in here. So add 1 to each color from what I said. Got some variants, got some foils. It feels like a nice little starter chunk of cards to build from. I saw really good cards in here that I love. Stuff like Exsanguinate, stuff like Arcane Signet. You know, you got the Sol Ring. It looks like they want you to be able to build a commander deck just based on those cards. You do have something in here that says Commander's Color Identity. So I think what we do now is we open the Foundations boosters and we see what direction we can build based on what our bombs are in these packs. That's where these are going to be different, where if each of these is all going to have, based on the box here, based on the product you can see, this is all going to be a predetermined assortment of cards. The difference in the decks that you can build from it are going to depend on these Foundations boosters. So let's go ahead and open these. We're just going to sort the cards into our piles, and then we are going to build from there. Got a Goblin Borders, Infestation Sage, Grow from the Ashes, Solarian Terror. Okay, so another one of those. Squad Rallier, Prideful Parent, Goldvein Pick, Branchwood Armor, it's an old one, Self-Reflection, Felling Blow, Savannah Lions. Oh, a Coma World Eater. That could be a fun commander to build. A Stromkirk Blood Thief. The beginning of your end step, if an opponent lost life this turn, put a 1/1 counter on target vampire you control. Then we have Coma World Eater. This spell can't be countered. Trample, Ward 4. Whenever Coma deals combat damage to a player, create 4 3/3 blue serpent creature tokens named Coma's Coil. What a monster of a card. Or a serpent, I should say. Then we do have a Drake Goblin. Keep the double-sided tokens coming. I'm a big fan of that initiative. That just makes the most sense. Alright, got a dragon token. And a dragon. Double dragon. It's actually pretty sweet. That is pretty sweet. Healer's Hawk. Sure Strike. Take your own death. Bite down. It's a nice little removal. Fleeting Distraction. Make your move. Destroy target artifact, enchantment, or creature with power 4 or greater. I love the coverage going on that. It's a very nice little removal that can be upgraded later on. An offer you can't refuse. That is a strong case for blue. Cat Collector. When this creature enters, create a food token. Whenever you gain life for the first time each turn, On each of your turns, create a 1/1 white cat. I do like a cat. And another Rex Sage. Okay. We do find a rare. It is a Lunar Insight. Draw a card for each different mana value among non-land permanents you control. That's fun. Oh yeah, there is a foil in every pack. Infestation Sage. And our last pack here. Let's get a big mythic in here. Big mythic would be good. Or a small mythic with a big ability. Inspiring Paladin. Courageous Goblin. Oh, a turtle. A 0/5 turtle. Quick draw Katana. During your turns, equipped creature gets +2/+0 and has first strike. That's fun. Bulk up. Double target creature's power until end of turn. And it has flashback. That's fun. Ooh, Affectionate Indrik. It's a good card. Skyship Buccaneer. Youthful Valkyrie. Jeez. And a rare Kellen. And a cool border here. If Kellen is a scout, it becomes a human fairy detective and gains when Kellen deals combat damage to a player. Exile the top card of your library. You may play that card this turn. And if Kellen is a detective, it becomes a 3/2 human fairy rogue and gains double strike. Okay. That's good. What else do we have in here? A common foil. All right. Search your library for a basic land card. Reveal it. Put it in your hand. Target creature you control fights. Target creature you don't control. Wait, we have a card called Bushwhack. For 1 green, we have a fight and a way to ramp. Dude, this card is amazing. And a Dismal Backwater. Okay, cool. Put that in with our lands. And we got an art card as well. Now what I'm going to do is I am going to build the deck and you're going to get a time lapse. Well, first we need a commander. So legends. All right, so they do give you a nice assortment of legends, and then maybe you get lucky and you open like a Coma like we did, and it gives you another option. So Coma was what we opened out of our packs, but here are the legends that we can choose from. Ruby, Ailey, Aurelia. This seems like a good direction to go. Helena, Ovika, Prime Speaker Zagana, Tatiova, and Garna. Tatiova. All right, I think for the sake of this, sack another creature, you gain life equal to the sacrificed creature's toughness. Sack another creature, exile target on-land permanent, activate only if you have at least 10 life more than your starting total. Or Aurelia, whenever it attacks for the first time each turn, untap all creatures you control. After this phase, there's an additional combat phase. That just seems like generically like really good, and based on the fact that we were opening stuff like Lyra and like good stuff like oh god, what is it? Good stuff like Belladar Retreat. We probably just have some good generic like red and white cards here that we can jam together and get something playable. The other option is, because I did see some good black cards that I liked, we could do like a black-red. Whenever another creature you control dies, draw a card if it was attacking. Otherwise, Garna deals 1 damage to each opponent. This seems like an interesting direction. I also like the Ailey here, Eternal Pilgrim, Death Touch, sack another creature, you gain life equal to the sacrificed creature's toughness. So both of these cards put me in black. Blue-green, I do think there was some okay stuff, but I think the move here is we want to go... I'd probably Aurelia just because it's generically good. Flying Vigilance Haste. Let's just pick a direction and go. We're going to go with Aurelia. Red, white. And if this pans out that this is just so bad, then what we'll do is we'll pivot. But having these as the basic commanders here, this is probably my one criticism and critique for the product, is give us like 10 legends that are 3-color for people that just want to build a 3-color pile out of this product. That's probably what I would go with. Maybe you open that in one of the Foundations packs, but I do also understand it's a product that is for beginners. That's why it's called Foundations. So like the idea is we're trying to get people into Magic. We're not trying to overcomplicate things. So I'm going to build the best thing I can out of red, white, and then we will go from there. And we'll see what we have here in red and white. Boros Charm? Yes, sign me up. Any other Boros cards? Heroic Reinforcements, that's okay. What do we have for Boros lands? Command Tower. Boros Guildgate. Sacrifice this land, draw a card, activate only if you control 5 or more lands. Yeah, we'll run that. We'll run whatever we got. Demolition Field. Yeah, we run that. Demolition Field is good. Alright, Maze's End. That is probably if you wanted to go like the Ramos direction. Rogue's Passage is going to be good in our deck. Then maybe Evolving Wilds is going to be a card. We also want the Windscarred Crag and the Temple. We'll take the Crawling Barrens as well. Where's our red-white Temple? Temple of Triumph. All right, that's what we got as far as non-basics. We're going Aurelia. It looks like they really want white to go in kind of like a life gain direction, so I think that's going to be something that we have to do, whether we want to or not. So just looking at my removal here and combat tricks like make a stand and stuff like that, I'm not discouraged really by what we have going on here. All right, so we are at like 66 cards right here. So this is technically, you know, this is a commander deck. It's like kind of like an Aurelia, the War Leader, white, red, good stuff or best stuff that I could kind of find in here. Healer's Hawk, the Hinterland Sanctifier, which is kind of like a Soul Warden effect, Dragon Master Outcast, the Kellen that we open, Basilisk Collar, Soul Guide Lantern, Expo Map, Soul Ring, Burst Lightning, and Joust Through. I'm going to take the rest of the deck, put it in a Mox field, and then we're going to throw it up there, and I'll talk to you about the rest of the deck there, and I'll let you know how the deck does tonight when I go to play Commander. At first glance, it looks like it probably needs some more staple-ish cards, like easy stuff like Path to Exile, Swords to Plowshares, that kind of thing. And then as far as synergy goes, you know, there's definitely stuff that I would cut to kind of round this out. You know, Healer's Hawk isn't exactly where we want to be. But like I was saying, let's go ahead and talk about the deck. We have the deck over here. I just went ahead and imported it into Mox Field. I've already played it. We're a couple days later now at this point. So I'll talk about how the deck did after we go over it here. But we have the whole deck. Just a fun little note. $93 deck. And this is just going the red-white route. Now, we will see as we get into the artifacts and stuff like that, that there's going to be a lot of overlap. If you go blue-green, if you go any other kind of shard like blue-white or something like that, you're probably going to want to run stuff like Darksteel Colossus and Meteor Golem. Just those kind of things are going to help fill out the deck. And then obviously all this stuff is probably going to make it into most iterations of this, since all of these starter collections are all going to have the same kind of set of cards, right? So like Basilisk Collar, Expedition Map, your Soul Ring, your Signet. Again, Soul Ring and Signet and Command Tower were all in a little pack together in this, all in foil. So the intention here is that you can build a commander deck. So yeah, there's going to be a lot of overlap. Like obviously Pyromancer's Goggles aren't going to go into something blue-green that you build or a different color pairing. But for the most part, you're probably going to want to run stuff like your Swiftfoot Boots and your Hedron Archive, and even Soul Guide Lantern is a good, generically good Magic the Gathering card for Commander. While we're down here, we'll talk about the lands. The big thing about this deck that I would say is, like, if you were going to put some time into this and some effort into upgrading this deck, you would probably want to go ahead and change out some of your mountains, change out some of your plains, get yourself some better dual lands. That's the one thing about this product that I would say the land base in this is not going to be very good for standard players. I think for people that want to dabble in 60 card constructed, there's a little bit of dabbling that can be done with this. But I think for the most part, this product kind of shines for commander players. I get a good vibe from it. I had a really good time playing the deck. The land base is pretty basic. You got your command tower. Crawling Barrens is a fine card. The only fetch land we have in this whole thing that was worth running is the Evolving Wilds. They do give you a demolition field, which is kind of cool. Cryptic Caves. Now let's go ahead and take a look at the creatures in the deck. You can see what was available to us. Dragon Master Outcast, we have to run that. It's just a good generically okay commander card. Definitely something I would replace. It's very squishy and it dies easily. We have Hinterland Sanctifier, which is a fun card as well. Hinterland Sanctifier is kind of like a Soul Warden type effect. It's not great. It's not bad. It's going to do a lot better in a life gain kind of build, but there's a small life gain kind of like sub theme going on with this deck. Kellen is the only card that came out of one of our Foundations boosters, which is pretty much the only way any of these decks are going to have any sort of variance at all. Because you get the same list of cards, and then you get the 3 Foundations play boosters. And so I opened that Kellen in there, which is why it's on the list. Charming Prince, fine card. Dawning Marshal, it's a card. Felidar Cub, Knight of Grace, Burnished Heart. Burnished Heart is so slow, but you know it's a pretty classic commander card. Cat Collector is a new card. It's fine. Gutter Snipe is pretty good for commander. We're going to get that each opponent effect going on. Inspiring Overseer, so you can see when it enters, I'm gaining a life, I'm drawing a card. This kind of gives me like a vibe of like, it's like a limited kind of commander experience. Linden is in here, so you got life gain on creatures attacking. Mentor of the Meek, pretty classic commander card. Tauren Mauler, very classic commander card. Angel of Finality, graveyard exile thing going on here. And then Ravenous Giant, not great, but it's a card filling out the deck. Redcap Gutter Dweller, this is a new card, a nice rare. When this enters, create 2/1/1 Black Rat creature tokens. This token can't block. At the beginning of your upkeep, you may sacrifice another creature. If you do, put a 1/1 counter on this creature and exile the top card of your library. You can play it this turn, so you get a little bit of a kind of like card advantage. Squad Rallier, it's going to allow us to fill up our hand. It's kind of an expensive effect on a 3/4, which is, you know, it's a fine creature, but it dies to everything. Strongbox Raider, Hoarding Dragon, because we have all of those artifacts we talked about. Lyra, Regal Caracal, Sir Alan. We have Lathless in here. Steel Hellkite, pretty classic card. Dragon Mage, Meteor Golem, because we need to be able to destroy stuff. Zatalpa, because we're in white. This is a giant bomb. This seems like a really good direction to go. It's one of the few cards that are just in the stock list here, and so you want to play it, and the same is true with Darksteel Colossus. Sorceries, it was pretty much anything that was going to allow me to kill stuff. So I was like, okay, Devout Decree, exile target creature or planeswalker that's red or black. It's very narrow, but it's what's included. Dragon Fodder, Goblin Negotiation, new cards. Obliterating Bolt is in here. 4 damage to target creature or planeswalker. If it would die, exile it. Seismic Rupture gives us kind of like a Pyroclasm effect for 1 more mana. Heroic Reinforcements. Fumigate is our board wipe. That's board wipe in the deck. And Release the Dogs. Then we do have some instants, and they serve pretty much the same kind of purpose. As I'm looking for removal. I'm looking for ways to interact. We got Burst Lightning. Joust Through. 3 damage to target attacking or blocking creature. I feel the same way about this. In Commander, I would rather this be a path. I would rather it be a Swords to Plowshares, but those cards are not included, but those cards are also very cheap. We do have a Braid in here. Nice versatility on that. Same is true with Boros Charm. We can give permanents we control indestructible. We can also deal damage, and we could give something Double Strike to get in for the dub. Disenchant is in here. Thrill of Possibility. This is very much a Jake card. Discard a card to draw 2. Valorous Stance. This card ends up being pretty important, and then Make a Stand was very good for the game that I ended up playing with this deck. Make Your Move. Destroy target artifact, enchantment, or creature with power 4 or greater is great. And Stroke of Midnight, they give us one card that's just honestly pretty cracked and a perfect card. And Bolt Bend, which is like the budget deflecting SWAT that came out of War of the Spark. We already talked about the artifacts. This is the deck, and I'll tell you, I did play with this deck. Oh, yeah, forgot the enchantments here. We have Impact Tremors. All of our creatures are dealing a damage to each opponent. This is a classic, very good commander card. Stasis Snare, which is going to allow us to exile target creature an opponent controls until this leaves. Again, this would probably be replaced with like a Swords or a Path or, you know, some sort of like a Generous Gift. Angelic Destiny, very classic card from when I first started playing. I love this card. Felidar Retreat, we're getting a lot of versatility with this as well. We can either grow the team wide or we can grow the team tall, and we could start putting counters on our stuff. I love Felidar Retreat ever since it was first printed, and this is a fun reprint in here as well. Gratuitous Violence, 3 red, 2 other. And if a creature you control would deal damage to a permanent or player, it deals double that damage instead. I love these kind of effects. And as we already talked about, we talked about the lands and then the artifacts. The artifacts are probably going to move between most decks that you build with this just because they help round out the deck. And there's no way you're going to play a commander, you're going to build a commander deck and not throw in the Sol Ring Signet and the command tower that they give you in foil in this. So there's definitely a direction that Wizards of the Coast wants you to go. They want you to be able to build a commander deck. They also give you weird stuff in here like 4 opt, and there's like some Tolarian Terrors in here, and you see kind of like pauper decks that you could kind of build if you wanted. Very basic starters to like standard decks that would need a ton of tuning to get that deck to where it needs to be in order to perform. The kit doesn't come with a lot of like 4-ofs or anything, so I do think it's pretty tuned for commander players. As we mentioned, $96.61 here for what this deck is worth. That doesn't include any of the black cards that were cool. You got like a foil Massacre Worm. It doesn't include any of the green cards or any of the blue cards that you saw me open when we were going through this. And I'll tell you, and I'm not going to show you the whole game, but I will tell you how it went. I was playing against Treebeard. I was playing against Rendmaw, which is the new Death by Birds commander that came out of Duskborn. And what was Travis playing? He was playing something blue-white, I believe. But the game came to a head. As you can see, it got really close, and I was actually able to clutch the game with a Steel Hellkite, and my commander was out, and I used the card Make a Stand, which allowed me to swing, and then because of Aurelia, I'm able to get a second attack step, and it was, as you can see, life totals were pretty close, so I was able to get the game, which feels really good to be able to build something kind of like in the moment, take it over. I tried to be kind of secretive about what the deck, what the point of this deck was, and what my motivation was for building it. And at the end, you know, when I got the game, it was really cool to be like, oh, you know, I took this this deck that was built from a starter collection over, and it held its own, and I actually got the dub. I don't think that's going to happen all the time. I think I kind of got lucky, but it's cool that the deck held its own. I'm a big fan of the starter collection. I think that this is a product that some people are going to have some fun with. I think that this is a product that is a really good onboarding for somebody who might have a couple pre-con decks and they're like, you know what? I'm ready to build my own deck. It gives you a nice assortment of cards, a bunch of classic cards. It gives you some of the new stuff from Foundations. And I would say that this product is good for new and up-and-coming Commander players. And if you just want some cool foils as well, it comes with those just in case you're a completionist and you're like, you know what? I'm buying it and I'm going to build what I can out of it. I think it's a good product for new and old players. I really had a lot of fun opening this and just building something kind of blind and going into this product not really knowing what I was getting into. So anyway, Wizards of the Coast, thank you so much for sending us this product so that we could do this review. What did you think of the deck? You can see the Moxfield link in the description of the video. Let me know in the comments. I hope you all enjoy this video, and I hope you have a good rest of your day or evening, or if you're sleeping, you know, when you wake up, watch this then. All right, see you later. Bye.